Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 9. My name is Xavier Robert, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Uduaghan. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Buhari to attend Liberia's 175th independence anniversary tomorrow. Labour set to proceed with solidarity protest over varsity strike. Plus, Pope Francis apologizes for abuse at Canada's schools. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First in our news tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja for Liberia tomorrow to attend the country's 175th independence anniversary celebrations. The senior special assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, confirmed this in a statement. He said President Buhari, who will be the special guest of honor at the event, will join other world leaders and organizations to rejoice with the people of Liberia at the event, with the theme Fostering Unity, Protecting our Peace for Development and Prosperity. To accompany the President on his trip are the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Oyema, and Director General National Intelligence Agency, Ambassador Ahmed Abubakar. After participating in the Independence Program, President Buhari is expected back in the country later the same day. Meanwhile, President Buhari has praised the outgoing President of the Economic Community of West African States, Commission, Jean-Claude Brault, for showing great commitment to the unity of the bloc and the West African sub-region. President Buhari said this during a farewell audience with Brault at the State House, Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. The President's message was made known in a statement signed by his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. The statement was titled, President Buhari Thanks Cassie Brault for United ECOWAS. Away from that, President Buhari has appointed the Deputy Corps Marshal Finance and Accounts, Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Biu, as Acting Corps Marshal, as Oboboyo Oyeyemi bowed out of service yesterday. The former FRSC Corps Marshal Oyeyemi made this known while handing over at the FRSC headquarters today in Abuja. This was contained in a statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, Assistant Corps Marshal BC Kazim in Abuja. Oyeyemi wished the acting Corps Marshal a successful tenure as he assumed office. In the meantime, the presidency has announced the appointment of Nasiru Ila as President Buhari's new Senior Special Assistant to National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives. A statement signed by a spokesman for the President, Garba Shehu, said President Buhari had approved the appointment. It noted that in 2011 and 2015, Nasiru was elected into the House of Representatives as a member representing Taraoni Federal Constituency in Kano. The presidency described Nasiru as a successful businessman with interests in haulage, ginnery, and tannery before his foray into politics. He now replaces Umar El Yaqub, who has been appointed minister by the president. On security matters, President Buhari has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to tackling the nation's security challenges, saying he will ensure bandits and terrorists wreaking havoc in several parts of the country are crushed. In a statement by his spokesman, Garba Shehu, the president said that the service chiefs have been kept on their toes to ensure that banditry and terrorism were decisively addressed. He also sympathized with former National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Adamu Muazu over the killing of his brother and abduction of his sister by bandits. The president's reassurance came hours after terrorists released a video where they were flogging victims of the March 28 attack on a Kaduna-bound train. The terrorists were also seen threatening to kill the victims if the federal government failed to meet up with their demands. Still on security, relatives of the victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack have picketed the headquarters of the Ministry of Transportation in Abuja following the release of a new video by the bandits. The protesters who occupied the main entrance to the ministry asked the federal government to take steps to secure the release of their loved ones who were abducted by gunmen at Katari village on March 28. A spokesperson for the protesters, Ahmed Arua, said they would continue to block the entrance of the Ministry of Transportation until they got a definite response from the government. The demonstration came barely 24 hours after the bandits who were holding the abductees released a new video in which they were seen manhandling some of the victims and flogging them with sticks as they cried and pleaded for help. Although some of the train passengers have been released after ransoms were reportedly paid, dozens of victims are said to be left in the custody of the bandits. Meanwhile, terrorists have released 3 victims of the more than 50 hostages of the abducted Abuja-Kaduna train passengers. The victims, comprising 2 males and a female, secured their freedom this morning. Reports say they were released by the terrorists at a location inside the forest along the Kaduna-Abuja highway, from where they were picked up by their relatives. With the release of the 3 victims, the number of those still in captivity now remains at 40. Recall that gunmen had on March 28 blown up the rail track, killing some and abducting scores of passengers, a situation that called for serious concern about the safety of the nation's train. Now, in education, President Buhari has reiterated the determination of the federal government to end strikes embarked upon by Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and other unions in the nation's tertiary institutions. The president's position was made known in a statement issued by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garoba Shehu. Shehu dismissed as false the media reports quoting President Buhari as giving 2-week ultimatum to Minister of Education Adamu to resolve the disputes between federal government and Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. He appealed to the media not to spread misinformation over the ongoing strike by members of ASU. In a related development, the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has concluded the mobilization of its members to stage a 2-day warning strike in solidarity with affiliate unions such as the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU), Non-Academic Staff Union of University and Allied Institutions (NASU), as well as the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SANU). This came to the fore today while the president of NLC, Ayuba Waba, was responding to questions from journalists at the sidelines of the ongoing 18th NLC Rain School 2022, tagged Labour Politics for National Development and Social Justice in Nigeria. Waba reiterated Labour's readiness to gather its members across Nigeria for a nationwide protest in all the 36 states of the Federation and Abuja tomorrow. The demonstration is in demand for the federal government to resolve all lingering issues that have kept the tertiary education closed and have the schools open for academic activities. He noted that a 3-day warning strike will immediately follow after the protest and that the NLC may have to go on indefinite strike if the government failed to act to end the crisis in the education sector. And while the striking Academic Staff Union of Universities and Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities say the federal government is yet to reach out to them, since the Nigeria Labour Congress announced a plan to hold nationwide solidarity protests tomorrow and Wednesday. They also said they were still awaiting official communication from the Minister of Education, Adamu, days after President Buhari directed him and other government officials to resolve the ongoing strike by the unions. Recall that the NLC had last week announced that it would embark on a joint protest with other affiliate unions to protest the lingering strike of university workers in the country since February 14, 2022. And while the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, had however declared the planned protest illegal, while his Labour and Employment counterpart, Chris Ngige, claimed that a report by the Department of State Services had warned against the protest. Still in education, Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board JAMB has fixed Saturday, August 6, for its mop-up Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) for candidates who could not participate in the examinations during the period of the exercise due to verification reasons. The board said the decision was a result of JAMB's determination to give equal opportunity to all candidates who are desirous of tertiary education. It said this in its weekly bulletin by JAMB's head of media and information, Fabian Benjamin. In Abuja, JAMB said after every UTME exercise, it reviewed various reports from officials in the field and video footage of the examination. He noted that the reviews are done by a team of experts with a view to detecting activities subversive of the examination process. Away from that, President Buhari has congratulated Tobi Amusan for winning the women's 100-meter hurdles gold for Nigeria at the World Athletics Championship 2022. He also celebrated the 25-year-old for setting a new world record in the semi-finals of the athletic event and becoming the first Nigerian to win a world championship. The president's laudatory remark was contained in a statement by his special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina. Now, Vice President Emmanuel has been discharged from the Duchess International Hospital today, following a successful surgery on his right femur. Osibanjo, who was admitted for the surgery on July 16, spent 8 more days for full recuperation on crutches, according to a statement signed by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Laolo Konde. Osibanjo was discharged after undergoing physiotherapy and a smooth rehabilitation and will continue recuperating in the next few days. The statement is titled VP Osibanjo discharged after successful surgery rehabilitation at Duchess Hospital. Elsewhere, the federal government has ordered immediate closure of Federal Government College, Kwali, located in Kwali Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Minister of Education Adamu gave the directive in a statement by the director. According to the minister, the timely intervention of security agencies saved the situation. Adamu also directed that arrangements be put in place for final year students to conclude their senior school certificate examination SSCE organized by the National Examinations Council NECO. The minister also directed principals of unity colleges across the country to liaise with security agencies within their jurisdictions to forestall any security breach in the unity schools. To legislative matters now, where the House of Representatives Committee on Finance has summoned the Ministers of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed and Power Abubakar Liu over the planned sale of 5 power plants. Also summoned were the Director General for the Bureau for Public Enterprise, Alex Oko, as well as the Managing Directors, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Joseph Ubo, and the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company, Dr. Nnaemeka Ewelukwa. The chairman of the House Committee on Finance, James Faleke, in separate letters to the federal government bodies and officials concerned, described the planned sale of the power plants as unconstitutional and a disservice to the nation's development, as the assets jointly belong to the 3 tiers of the government: federal, states, and local governments. In a separate development, the nation's 36 governors will tomorrow meet with Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning Zainab Ahmed, her agriculture counterpart Mohammed Abubakar, a team from the World Bank to be led by its country director Dr. Shubham Chaudhuri, and others on the economy. This is according to a statement by the Secretariat of the Nigeria Governors Forum. It stated that the ministers and World Bank officials would make presentations at the 5th NGF teleconference meeting this year, which will focus on the economy, among other issues. The clerics accused of impersonation at the formal unveiling of Senator Kashim Shettima as running mate to All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu have offered proof of their authenticity. It will be recalled that the presence of the clerics at the ceremony had sparked media controversy, with some accusing them of being fake. Addressing newsmen in a interfaith organization of religious leaders, the Muslim Christian Love Foundation, Bishop Adams King said the clerics who attended the unveiling never portrayed themselves as emissaries of the Christian Association of Nigeria. He also said their identification with Shettima and the APC was informed by his transformation of Borno State, where he handled management of social relations, including the protection of rights for all, regardless of religion, as governor. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Emmanuel has advised Christians and the people of the state not to limit God through their actions and words. The governor gave admonition while addressing worshippers at the Regina Coeli Catholic Parish Uyo, where he worshipped. Governor Emmanuel drew references from the Bible, where some children of Israel took actions that provoked God to anger, despite what he did for them. Earlier in a homily, the parish priest, the Very Reverend Justin Udoma, charged Christians to persevere until they got their desires from God, despite the challenges they may be facing. According to him, for Christians to receive from God, they have to be prayerful, live a responsible life, and maintain good relationship with God. Still to come in the news. Audits distressed Dobi nam dia zenam Emmanuel abo na yamba mami ngitia. Do you guys have footages you can at least be using, even if it's one? Even if and so that people had that chief. Many thanks for staying tuned. We move on now to Africa, where